3, 2, and 1.
Hallelujah to the only true and wise King. Hallelujah. He's yet on his throne. And he does whatsoever he pleases. He's got it under control. He has it all under control. Hallelujah. He's the master eternal. And everything has to bow down to him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. I want to praise the Most High for who he is and what he's doing on our behalf. I thank him that he's the master creator. There's none like him. Hallelujah. And I want to thank you for coming in to our class today. How are you today? How are you doing today? Like my mom used to say, how you doing today? I want to shout out to my babies across the U.S. and all around. And I want to thank you. Now, for those who are coming into class and you all are appreciating what we're about to talk about today, I need you to do a thumbs up. Let's see, I'm getting it down packed, right? I need you all to do a thumbs up, a like, a share. Let me know you're out there. These classes are all for you. I just want you all to know these classes are all for you. And I give the glory and honor to the Most High for who he is and how he is. My babies in Ohio, Yomima, I love you. Tennessee, Mississippi, Memphis, Kansas. I love y'all, Kansas. DC, New Jersey, I just want y'all to know, and Texas. I want y'all to know I love you and I'm so grateful for you. One of the things we're going to talk about today is we're going to get right to it. We're going to try to, it's something that came to my attention that I was looking at something, I was sending something out to one of my babies. And Naomi, give me a call. And I was thinking about some things and I thought, you know, this COVID thing is a mimic a lot of other things. Such as, let me give you an example. If you are a B complex or B12 deficiency, it would show that you have, that there's a virus. So it mimics other things, family. So, it mimics, yeah. Deficiencies will mimic certain infections and diseases. So I wanted to come on today and let you know some things about, and we're going to talk about different deficiencies. Now, if you all go back on some of my other classes, when we were talking about vitamin B deficiencies, and I just wanted to hit a little bit harder on these because, ladies, vitamin B12 deficiencies will even affect the way you look at menstruation, your tiredness. You're really fatigued, or you can't, your memory can't get together. Now I just swallowed my clothes. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Keep your clothes, ladies. It's all good for you, especially during this time. Keep the clothes in your mouth. I want to put this before we go to that. Keep your clothes in your mouth. Make sure you do your mishwak sticks, your licorice root. Make sure when you rinse your mouth out, ladies, and this is just preventiveness, make sure that you're rinsing your oil pulling, and make sure you have your anise in there. Put your anise in your bathtub. For the young people, young children that have been out there in the sun and out there sweating, so when they come out and come back inside, they're taking their bath, put a little bit of anise in their bath water, and it gets rid of some of the bacteria. It gets rid of a lot of bacteria because it's an antiseptic. It gets rid of that. Put a little bit in their mouth. And at first they're going to say, oh, this tastes terrible. But when you put a little coconut oil to pull it, it's the same kind of taste as it would be when they get the taste. Go ahead, Jabari. Got his licorice stick.
Just want to show y'all, I get mine off Amazon. You get a whole pound of for like $16.
Yes.
It's like almost 50 or 40 of them in this bag right here.
Yes. Glory.
Licorice root.
Licorice root.
I know it kind of blurred up, but it's
Yes. Keep that in handy. You can break them up, put a few in your mouth, and you can keep that. It keeps your gums and all of that. Don't overdo it. Remember.
Right.
Make sure you don't overdo it, but you can keep it in your mouth occasionally, and that's a really good thing. It helps with a lot of things. So if you want to go back at one of the other classes, and we talked about the licorice root and what it does and how it benefits the body. Now, make sure that when you do go out, you can rinse your face. Ladies, if you have a little bit of, you're the end of the bottle of your vanilla extract, and you want to just cleanse your face for the babies or for your daughters, take a little bit, rinse out that little bottle of vanilla extract, and you can rinse your face out with it. Take what's left in the bottle, put some water in there, and spritz your face, and you can cleanse your face with it. And it tightens the pores, cleanses, it's antiseptic, antibacterial. Just a little heads up on a few little things. Your email thinks you're wonderful. Also, during this time of Corona, there are other things that you can continue to do as an antiseptic. Make sure you can rinse your hands with a little salt. I told my daughter-in-law that you can take a little distilled water and put some sea salt or a little sea salt in there, or Himalayan salt, and you can rinse your hands with it if you don't have any hand sanitizers. Salt is an antiseptic. It won't allow germs to seed or grow on that which it covers. So those are just a few things that you can use, and then when you get home, just rinse it off. For those who don't like their hands dried out or anything like that, that's a very good thing. So now let's continue. Or ladies, if you like that rose water smell, which I love rose water, you all have to know that. Roses, you can take roses, and it's a good antiseptic, and it purifies and it cleanses. Take a little rose water, put it in a bottle, spritz your face all around to keep you fresh, keep your hands clean. It's a good sanitizer. You can do that. Just a few little helpful hints. Now, back to the deficiencies. Your B deficiencies. Now, it came to my attention at one time, I was sharing with one of my babies about deficiencies. Now, gentlemen, my Hebrew brothers, I know during this time when we go to our feasts and festivals, we like to have a little something to drink. Please be careful. Now, there's nothing wrong with you doing your little drink. What they say, get your drink on. Is that the word? Get your drink on.
But then the scripture says, have a little wine, but that's coming in abundance. So we don't say a little wine.
A little wine.
Just like it says it's a rock in moderation.
In moderation.
You don't open this to the water. But when overdone, drunken access, we're all into quarrel. So everything in its measure. Everything in its season. That's right.
So the family, now, I love that. Thank you. Bye. So when we overdo it, over excess of alcohol will bring you a B complex or B12 deficiency.
Doesn't it also weaken your immune system?
It will. It'll weaken your immune system. And I'll use my own family as an example family. Let's use my own blood family. I'm telling about my business. It don't matter. They know. Well, there's a certain part of my family, and they married into a family that they were doing a lot of alcohol in their younger age. Well, that carried on into their genes, and it was so much into their genes that it affected their children because it was in their DNA, and because it was in the DNA, it gave their children what they call alcohol syndrome. So in that, they were born with certain deficiencies, B12 deficiency. So which meant that their bodies could not absorb the minerals and certain minerals of B12 whenever they would eat. So they had a lot of anxiety, they had stress, they had a lot of things, Alzheimer's, and different things like that came from that. And so what was needed was, and for when they got older, it affected their memory. It brought where they couldn't sleep. They had to drink to be able to sleep at night. They needed some type of alcohol where they had to, they needed alcohol in order to sleep or rest. So it was a chemical, yes. Yes. And so what happens, it goes into the DNA and it affects the DNA. So you want to, when it talks about our children, our heritage, you not only, when you see things like this, family, you want to make sure that it's not just, don't be selfish. We're not going to be selfish and say, this is my body, I do what I want to. Let's not do that, men and women, because it does affect the next generation and the generation after that. So for that reason, there are a lot of situations where it poses, it'll mimic certain things in the body. The children had the syndrome of certain deficiencies, which meant memory, like we said, and I wrote some. Say it again?
Symptoms.
Symptoms. Yes, symptoms. And I wrote it down, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So this deficiency will even mimic Crohn's disease. So when you go to your doctors, ladies, and you say, I'm having this issues, a lot of doctors don't really look and, okay, I'm going to say it. Some doctors don't really don't look at your deficiencies. They'll just go off what you say. You have to know your own body, know the family that you've come from, and know where your generation of people. That's why you need to talk to your mother, your father, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. See what they were dealing with during that time. Depression. Listen, depression and anxiety can be because you're mimicking your deficiency in vitamin 12, B12. B12 is such, let me tell you what some of the things B12 do. The B's, and I know for those of us who don't eat meat products, I have to watch, and I'm saying this out to you, I have to watch myself because I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat products. So I have to watch my B complexes. And the best type of B complexes for me would be the ones that go immediately under my tongue. So you can go and get the kind of, when you get your B complexes, make sure you do a lot in the B12s and other Bs. B1 is really good for the brain. There's B3s, we've talked about B3s, where it affects the nerve endings, and it's that anxiety. B3s, B6, B9, your B complexes are very important for the body. What happens is the B12 wraps itself around the nerve, and it coats it. So when you're having an injury, or you're having a different situation going on in your body, it coats the nerve so that you don't have that, you don't feel the electrical charge, because we are electric, family. We are electric. And it doesn't go through and it doesn't hurt so much. A lot of people say they have pain in their joints, in their marrow, in their muscles. When you have these things, make sure that when you go to the doctor, that you tell them, I want to be checked to see any of my B complexes are deficient. I want to check my deficiency of my B complexes, or how much C you have in your body, or how much niacin. B3 is niacin, and it affects the nerve endings. It tells you when you're going into delusion or delirium. That affects that way. When you have older people and they don't have friends, and they begin to see and they talk to themselves, and when they go into a room and they immediately get nervous because they can't handle being around other people. You want to check that B complexes and see B nerve, your B12s, to make sure you're not dealing with these issues. Make sure your B complexes are in there. That's one of the things you might want to check for your senior parents. And you're saying that they have Alzheimer's so bad. That's one of the things that I would check to make sure that their B complexes are intact, that they have enough B complexes. I put it on both places, so I've got to go back in because I want to make sure I wasn't off this particular time. The B complexes also, family, can help when you're going through, because like I said, it can mimic viruses. So you want to make sure you have a certain B complex B in your body, especially B12, because your body cannot hold the charge, electrical charges, or keep your immune system up or built up. So you want to watch in that as far as your B12 is concerned. Pregnant women, when you're going through the celiac disease, and I know somebody said something about the celiac, and they said the HIV. You want to check that, because a lot of people are not aware that when they have HIV, their B, they have to make sure they have to keep up with the vitamin Bs. Their Bs in their blood system and their system. So I wanted to make sure Crohn's diseases, there was other different types of diseases as well. So when you're not doing that, fam, it affects, like, let me give you an example. A lot of people say their muscles are weak or their bones are weak. You want to make sure that your muscles, you have enough in there, not a whole lot, but just enough. Some of us have to go and have B12 shots. And that's to allow the body to absorb a certain amount of B in order to help you stay out of the anxiety, and you can rest better. A lot of people say, oh, I can't rest. I can't rest at night. I can't sleep at night. I need you to check your vitamin Bs, your B complexes, your B12s, and check to make sure when you say you can't rest, make sure your B complexes are in order in your body that you can absorb. Some people say, when you're going through that time of the month, and women think that it's, and I told you all that fennel makes you happy, basil makes you happy. These are some things that will help you. I mean, turn on that happy gene. I love that. But these are some things. From time to time, I don't eat, and I'll put this out there, I don't eat meat, but from time to time, I'll eat sardines. And the reason being,
that's me.
Stop. The reason why, because sardines they're small, and they have a certain, but they don't overpower. And then I follow that with parsley and cilantro in it, and I'll use what they call mustard. But it's not the mustard that you get. I mix mine in regular mustard with a little bit of other mustard, the powdered mustard, the plant mustard, wow. And it takes the minerals out, but yet keep what I need in it. But that's as far as I go. You will not see me eat any more than that. Just a minute.
Just like your standard fish, high in omega.
High in omega B. That's exactly it. And your omegas are what you're really needing and what you're reaching for, fam. And I'm going to make sure that you guys know that the omega 369s, you want to keep that up, because it also, your omega 369s, that's part of when you said that sardines and all that, that's what your body's craving for. So when you're deficient in that, your body's like, where is it? Have you ever noticed a person, an older person, and they walk like gap? All of a sudden they develop that little gap walk. It's because that's one of the things you want to watch out for seniors, because they have that, you can tell, that's one of the ways of telling deficiency. B deficiency. Have you ever, Tobias and I were talking about on the way over here, and you look at your fingernails, and they have those little ridges. Those little ridges, ladies, there are times when you can look cute, And I know I heard one of the ladies, they were saying, well, my husband loves my nails when they're done. Or I love my nails when they're, well, not all the time. Sometimes you need to take the fingernail polish off, which is not really all that good for you anyway. It's just vanity, and I'm saying it as a woman. You want to just take some of that off and look at the color of your nails. Your nails can tell what you're depleted in. Whether they're rigid, whether they're split, whether right now I put some hand sanitizers on so they look kind of rough a little bit. But you can tell by the look of your hands. But have you ever been to the point whereby, and here's another thing. You can look, someone told me the other day, they said, Ema, my hands are getting numb. What do I say about my numbness of my hands? And I'm like, your hands are numb? Vitamin B12. It'll cause numbness. B12 deficiency. B12 deficiency. I was at my chiropractor one day, and my chiropractor did something to my back, and I was like, wait, I know I got my B12s in their balance. What did she do? But she had touched something in the back. You have to know your body. Family, know your body. Get to know your body. Pay attention to what your body will talk to you, and I say this often. Your body will tell you what it needs if you listen. You have to be the one. When you go to the doctor, what do they say? What is wrong? What's wrong? What seems to be the problem? They'll say that. You have to tell them. You go in, you can look at a person, and this time of the year, maybe not as much, but when you're not around a lot of, you can go into the sun. Your body as melanated people, you can go into the sun and your body can absorb vitamin D. It'll tell you, and it'll pull it in, and I mean to tell you, it will use it, and it's something that's wonderful for our bodies. But in the wintertime, when you're not out there, the vitamin D, you need to take more of it during the winter and fall seasons. And that's the same way with vitamin B. Your body needs to be. When numbness is one of the ways that you can tell whether your body needs B12s and different B complexes because of the numbness in your hands. Someone asked me about, Ema, what can I do for circulation? A lot of times your B complexes will help with circulation if you're deficiency in certain B complexes. So I just wanted to put that out there. And you know what? Somebody said, Ema, I feel so much better in the summer because I eat a lot of watermelon. Guess what? Watermelon is vitamin B6. B6. And so, and B6, like, let me tell you another thing. And I was just telling Tobias, just he was like, Ema, what kind of, what is this bean? Chickpeas.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Chickpeas are high in B6. Chickpeas, and I bring it to the class so a lot of times for my family to eat. Chickpeas, a lot of people eat potatoes. When I eat potatoes, I eat this different kinds of potatoes, like you all know. I don't eat the plain white purple. I eat the purple potatoes. I eat the Japanese sweet potatoes. Different types of potatoes, family that you know. And guess what else is high in B6? Spinach. So these are just a few little things. And let me tell you something. Some people said to me, Ema, why is it that, this is another thing I want to tell you all about. Someone was asking me about anemia. Anemia is iron deficiency, but it also, you want to check your B12. Because anemia, check your seniors, family, and it's not just for seniors. Now it's more so than ever because they're not giving us the amount of minerals in our food that we used to have. And so with the processed foods are robbing your body of minerals, vitamins that you need, micronutrients, and all these things that you need. And it will cause nausea. If you don't have B12 or B6, in your system. Check your seniors that when they get kind of confused, make sure they're getting that. I use a liquid, and I'll put it on my community post about how to what I use. But I use a liquid B complex and put it underneath my tongue, and I'll put it under my tongue and let it set for a couple minutes, for about a couple seconds. I'm sorry. Couple seconds, about 30 seconds, and then I'll swallow and let it go into so they go straight into your bloodstream. And you'll notice the more you do it, and for those that are compromised with their B complex, check your seniors, especially this time of year when it's getting hot. Make sure they have their spinach, make sure they have their nutrients, their B complexes, because it can cause, without it, it's confusion. Not only anxiety, depression, stress, fatigue, it could cause confusion in the mind. So memory loss. So you might want to do in that end. So a lot of times you think that it's one thing and it could be something totally different. So you want to make sure this family, when I say make sure that you do your vitamin, how important your minerals and your vitamins are. It's time, though, let me say this again. Crohn's disease is a deficiency. Celiac disease, HIV, your nerve endings not firing, or when they fire, you're having all that pain in your body. You want to check your B complexes, especially your B6, your B3, your B12, your B9, B1. I make it something serious for us in our house, without calling names. I make it something serious in our house, and I make sure we do our B1s at least every day. At least, if not every day, every other day in our house, because it's good for the brain. B1 is good for the brain. Make sure you have your Bs. When I was younger, I used to do B50s. And you say, is that a B50? Yes. And we're going to talk about that. And you're going to say, Imam, what? You're going to sing just like that. And so, family, these are without your B6, I started to say this. With your Bs, it makes you think as though you have some type of infection in your body without B6s, and without B12, without B3. Your Bs, you need your Bs so that when you go and they say, oh, you need to take this, for the virus, whatever. Make sure you're up on your Bs, and that's what I want to make sure that you're aware of in this time. Make sure your B complex, that you're balanced, you're not overdoing, but you just got it right. And make sure that you have those tests done, that you get your Bs up, because it will make you feel as though you have infection in your body. And all it is just you're off. But they'll give you medication, but not tell you, wait a minute, let me check your mineral deficient. Let me see if you're mineral deficient. Let me see if you're vitamin deficient. Let me check those things first before we put you on any kind of drugs. So, family, I just want to make sure you all are aware of that. So, let's go back over it again. And because I'm not one to do, like we said, I don't do meat products. So I have to watch it a lot of times. So let's go back over. To some people that have allergies to peanuts, and the reason why I'm saying this right now, peanuts you can have has B3 in it, and I don't. Certain peanuts, I'm not a real peanut fan. Now check this out. Your peanuts are actually a bean. A lot of your nuts are beans, so you can plant them. One year, and I'm just a side note. One year, Mr. and I planted he wanted some peanuts. So we planted them. And when he planted, he got this tree that came, this little branch, a couple stalks, and he got them about this tall before the squirrels got to it. We have some obese squirrels in our house. Let me tell you this, and I'm going back to what I was saying. Our squirrels eat my cucumbers. And then one summer I went and I had pictures. Mr. made me delete them because it made him mad to see it. Our squirrels came in and they took the cucumbers before they would even get tall enough. They're about as long as half the size of this. Half the size of this. And they had gotten to be really beautiful and everything. And I looked at them like, where are my cucumbers? I know that I saw some cucumbers on it. They had them even in the front yard. And after they had finished eating the cucumber, then they couldn't get it because they saw us coming out, heard us coming out. And they ran to the front and left the evidence in the front yard. And they were half eaten. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then had the audacity to lay out on the top stair because they had so filled themselves so with the cucumbers. Top stair and just laid out like you laid out. You know what? I needed a BB gun. Just like that. Just like that, laid out. I'm like, you know, I got something for you. Right, I got something for you. But that's the same way that they did our peanuts. We looked to see, I was like, I thought we had, and they were growing up really beautiful. And Mr. put something around it, and so they couldn't get it. You know, they worked until they could push that apart and got those peanuts. These are, when I say hood squirrels, these are what they are. But anyway, and then left the rest for the birds. But anyway, story for another time. Let's finish that. But the peanuts have that mycotoxin on it when they ship them. And so for those that say they have allergies to the peanuts, they have the mycotoxins what they spray. So when they ship them sometimes, they have different feces and stuff like that are on them. So I couldn't do that. So that's what you have. Some children can't take them because of the allergens and the mycotoxins that are on them, and a lot of other things. So just be aware of that. But that's why sometimes I let the cast iron stomach person that lives in our house eat the nuts, and I keep it moving. But those are the B3s. So start taking B3s are high for peanuts. So you can do your peanuts with those who have peanuts and wheat. So you can do that. So family, when I say B9, you want to do. Now one thing that I do love, and that's my beans. We have black beans and different, those are called legumes, which are also seeds. And the seeds that you can plant those, and I'm giving you all my secrets. So I hope my babies are listening. So my babies, when you help your mommies pick your beans, you pick your beans, take those beans that are abnormal or they're half or the ones that you know you cannot cook, take those and take those outside and plant them. And they'll come back up and you'll see something this summer. How about that? Really great. And you can eat this, the sprouts and all that. And guess what? That is B9. But those are B9. For my babies my nanas that are in Texas, when daddy picks those beans, mommy picks those beans, take the ones that are not good and put them in the ground and see how they come back and sprout for you. And you can eat the sprouts. So we can do that. I'm just going to, and make sure for B9 you have your green leafy vegetables. You know, I'm always talking about your green leafy vegetables. Family green leafy vegetables. Listen to your nana. Listen to your imam. Eat your greens. Eat your greens. So me and the Father can be proud of you. But that is B9. So you want to make sure you do your B complexes. And green leafy vegetables have so many nutrients that you need to continue your body. Keep your body up. Make sure that you are. So family, I just wanted to holler at you for a few minutes about those things and let you know to get your, I was going to go, I say I'm going to talk about one thing and I overdo. And so, because of my zeal for the love of my people, I always happen to not to hit on all the things that I really want to hit on. But these are just a few things that I wanted to make sure. And what made me think on these things, I was talking to one of my babies and I was thinking about how the COVID would, because of some of your deficiencies with your vitamins, especially vitamin B, it would mimic a deficiency and it would show up as COVID. So I want you, if at all possible, to make sure you're intaking your B complexes. If you want lovelies, if you are taking during that time of the month and you say, Ema, I'm feeling tired, check your B. We know we're gonna do fennel that makes us happy. We know we're gonna do the basil that makes us happy. We know we do our burdock. Burdock is high in B, and it helps the liver, kidneys, and everything too. But anyway, the story. You all know about the class for the burdock and the dandelion and the chicory and all that. Those are good in vitamins and nutrients. Go back on the other class and see what we talked about that. But I just want to make sure that when you do these tests, if you do these tests, you want to make sure you have your minerals. How important that the Father remember us and these type of things that we need for our bodies to keep our bodies healed, healthy, whole, and sound. This is your Ema telling you that I love, love, love you, and I think you're wonderful. Your Ema thanks the Father for you, and you remember you are fearfully and wonderfully made. In case nobody told you today, Ema Bar and the Father Creator, the Master Creator, makes up the majority. And we say that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we love you for that. Hallelujah. And I love you. I'm sorry, I make so much noise sometimes. But I just want you all to know I love you. And in case nobody else told you today, this Ema loves you. Blessings. Thank you for tuning in today, to coming into class. This is a wonderful class. Did you all have any questions for me before we say it?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
DJC,
Hey!
Brother Brian Gibson asks, what to use for pink and red eye that's a herb?
You know what? You can do something like, it's called eye bright. And it's an herb. It's a plant. It's a cute little plant. Golden seal is another one you could use for the eyes. But let me tell you how to do it. So when you get your eye bright, just make a little tea and make it out of a tea. And when you do it, but make it with distilled water. And you can put a pinch of sea salt in it. And you can rinse your eye and it pulls the toxins out. And I love that question because every morning, your Ema, what I do, I use a pinch of Himalayan salt, a little bit of sea salt, and distilled water, and I make sure it's clear, and I let it settle. Sometimes I let it set in the water, and I put it in the bathroom covered in a little bottle, and every morning I wash my eyes. So, because remember, when you go out in the outside, a lot of the pollens and pollutions, when you cleanse your respiratory system, you have your eyes that you need to clean as well. So I do that every morning and make sure it's your eyes, ears, nose, and throat. Now, when it comes to golden seal, you do the same thing with the golden seal and just distill water and you rinse it. Now you can add a little bit of golden seal, a little bit of Himalayan salt. I got you. A little bit golden seal, Himalayan salt, and you can use the eye bright. But here's the deal: you put you can use colloidal silver as well. But let me show you how you do the colloidal silver. So you can do that, and then you just put like 2. If you're going to do it in the distilled water, you can save it in the refrigerator after you make the little tea, and you can just put it over your eyes, and you can rinse it that way. Some people use a little bit of Q-tip and they just go in and around the bottom of it and make sure all of that, because all the toxins settle at the bottom inside of your eye, under the eyelid, and just do that. And you can use that, or you can use colloidal silver. I love colloidal silver. I do in the wintertime, especially when they were having this little issues coming through, what I would do is take the colloidal silver and on a Q-tip and put it, and I would clean my eyes. And from that toxin, so if anything, when I'm around people, so if there's any bacteria or anything out there, infections, I would just always clean my eye, inside of my eye, with a Q-tip and the colloidal silver. And that cleanses as well, which is an antibacterial, antifungal, and that which is fantabulous. Your next question?
Well, it's the same individual. Brian, BJC, is asking, is it also good for infection too?
Exactly. The colloidal silver is good for infection. If you want to, if there's any infection in your eye, it clears it up. The golden seal, the eye bright is called eye bright, and it's an herb. Golden seal is an excellent antibacterial, antifungal for the eye, but you want to dilute it when you do it. If you get it as a bag, you're going to take the bag and put it in an 8-ounce glass. Just don't boil it, but put it in boiling hot water, and then put the top over it. When you do that, you're going to let it set until it cools. Then you're going to take that and put a little bit more distilled water in that, so that you'll have a fillet, so it's not extra strong. So you're going to protect your eyes, but it still does cleanse. It's a powerful cleanser. The Eye Bright, the golden seal is an excellent cleanser, but don't use it for full strength. You want to dilute it and use it in the refrigerator, and you can keep it up to about a week and a half, and then you want to discard it, just to go into the eyes. And you can do that, or you can use it a little bit to drink, and you can do your hair or your face with it. I never throw it away. I always cleanse my face with it, or I'll cleanse my body with it. That's for those. Your next question is,
that was it. I just want to say that GJC, which is our brother Brian Gibson, congratulations on your marriage between you and Hebrew. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Go ahead, baby. Make me proud. This Emma thinks you are fantabulously wonderful. Don't forget, you don't have to throw it away after a week and a half if you don't want to use it in your eyes anymore, but you can cleanse your skin. You can use it, put it in a spritz bottle, and you can spritz your skin underneath your arms, around your neck. When you're coming in from outside, it cleanses. It's a bacterial, it's an antifungal, it's an antibacterial. Before you go outside, if you want to use it, you can use it as a spritz, just to cleanse your body with. And congratulations again. This Imam thinks you're wonderful. Blessings on your marriage, blessings on your life, blessings from your Imam. I love you too much. See you next week. Remember, if you have any other questions, just hit me up. I found the slave. Just hit me up. I love you guys. Blessings on your day. Psalms 91 around about you. Stay safe as about a shield. No weapon formed against you. No evil shall befall you. No plague shall overtake you, because you obey the laws of the Most High. Amen.